What if I told you that your soul didn't begin when you were born? What if I told you it existed long before the stars, long before Earth itself, and that it chose, with infinite intention, to step into this world of matter and time? Imagine the vastness of your being, a consciousness that has traveled through dimensions of light, through ages of becoming, until it arrived here inside the quiet mystery of your own life. What if everything you've ever felt your longing, your love, your curiosity, is the echo of a story that began long before memory? According to Edgar Cayce's readings, we are not bodies that happen to have souls, we are souls that happen to inhabit bodies. The soul is the traveler, and life is its temporary vessel. In the beginning, there was only oneness, pure thought, pure energy, pure awareness. In that realm, time did not flow in a line. Creation responded instantly to intention. There, the soul was one with the divine mind, part of what Cayce called the universal consciousness. But within that wholeness arose a spark of desire, the yearning to express individuality, to create, to know itself through experience. And so began what Cayce described as the fall into matter, though not in the sense of punishment or sin. It was more like a great experiment of becoming a decision by countless souls to enter the material realms and explore the wonder of creation from the inside, to feel, to touch, to build, to love, and to learn what it means to bring spirit into form. The soul, once light and limitless, clothed itself in vibration, then energy, then matter, descending step by step into the density of physical life. Each incarnation, each lifetime became a classroom of awakening. But with this descent came the great forgetting. In order to truly experience life in its fullness, we had to forget who we were. The veil of amnesia wasn't a cosmic mistake, it was protection. It allowed us to play the game of life with authenticity, to choose freely without being overpowered by the memory of eternity. Cayce said that in this forgetting, we receive one of the greatest gifts, the chance to rediscover God within ourselves through the trials, joys, and lessons of human living. Yet even in our forgetfulness, something deep within us remembers. A faint pulse of eternity beats beneath the noise of everyday thought. That whisper that says you are more than this body, the dream that feels truer than waking, the déjà vu that tugs at the edges of the mind. These are the soul's breadcrumbs, reminding us that this life is a chapter in a much older story. You have walked among stars, you have known unity, and you have chosen to return to learn love in the midst of limitation. So here we are, each of us an ancient being, wrapped in human skin, carrying the light of the divine in the chambers of the heart. The material world is not our prison, it is our proving ground. Every challenge, every emotion, every moment of beauty or pain is a lesson in remembering what we truly are. Stay with me as we unfold this journey together, how the soul moved from the heavens into the earth, and how, even now, it is finding its way back home. Because somewhere, beneath the noise and the motion, your soul still remembers its origin, and it is calling you to remember too. When the soul first entered the material plane, it was like light passing through a prism, pure essence, refracted into many colors of experience. Edgar Cayce described this as the dawning of individuality, a moment when spirit took on the first traces of separation, so it could discover its own reflection in creation. In the beginning, we were still luminous beings, bodies made of thought and subtle energy. The world was softer then, more fluid, more responsive to consciousness itself. Matter was not yet dense, it shimmered with memory of the source. But curiosity grew. Souls began to project themselves deeper into the layers of form, experimenting with thought, emotion, and desire. Some remembered their origin and worked with divine purpose. Others became fascinated by creation itself and slowly forgot that they were the creators. Cayce said this was how humanity began, not as physical from the start, but as spiritual entities that gradually clothe themselves in the dust of the earth. Through this long descent, the vibration of matter slowed, and consciousness condensed into flesh. Spirit became human. In the great archives of Cayce's readings, he spoke of the early earth as a playground of divine imagination. Each soul helped shape the natural world: mountains, seas, creatures of light, all emerging from the creative mind of God, expressed through us. Yet as we identified more deeply with our creations, attachment grew. Desire, fear, and self will begin to eclipse remembrance. And so the grand adventure became a struggle, a journey of finding our way back through the very world we had made. This is why Cayce taught, each life we live carries a purpose. No experience is random. The people you meet, the challenges you face, the moments that shatter or shape you all, are threads in a vast tapestry of evolution. Karma, in Cayce's view, isn't punishment, it's education. It's the perfect law of balance, bringing us opportunities to harmonize the energies we once set in motion. Every act of kindness sows light that returns. Every harsh word or selfish deed plants a seed that ripens into new understanding. Life gives us endless chances to choose again. He often said, every soul was given the same opportunity in the beginning, and that each of us, no matter how lost, carries the spark of remembrance. The purpose of incarnation is not to escape matter, but to spiritualize it, to make this physical life a reflection of divine love. Through patience, compassion, and service, the soul reawakens. The material world, then, is not a fall from grace. It is the field where grace is proven real. Think of it this way: every trial is a teacher disguised as circumstance. Every joy is a reminder of the harmony we once knew. The soul, through countless lives, gathers wisdom like a pearl, forming in the depths of the sea. Layer upon layer of experience polishes the rough edges until the light shines through. Cayce said, the purpose of the soul is to know itself to be itself, yet one with God, and that knowing cannot happen in abstraction, it must be lived, felt, embodied. Even in the darkness of confusion, there is guidance. The higher self, or what Cayce called the spirit within, never leaves us. It speaks in intuition, in dreams, in the quiet moments when the noise fades. It reminds us of the original harmony. Meditation, prayer, and acts of love reopen that channel, allowing divine memory to trickle back into awareness. The more we attune to that inner voice, the more the outer world begins to mirror peace instead of chaos. So the soul's journey is not just downward into matter, it's a spiral, a descent followed by ascent. Each lifetime, each awakening, carries us closer to reunion. When we bring love into a world of separation, we lift vibration. When we forgive, we dissolve old energies. When we see the divine in another, we remember it in ourselves. The earth becomes not a place to escape, but a temple in which spirit and matter embrace. And somewhere inside you, the part that has lived through ages, hears this truth and nods in recognition. You are not simply evolving, you are remembering. You are retracing your steps through the corridors of creation, rediscovering that the light you seek has been burning within you all along. As Cayce said, know thyself as that soul who chose to manifest the love of the Creator. The path is already written in your heart. It only waits for you to walk it, awake and willing. If every lifetime is a classroom, then awakening is the moment we realize we've been the student and the teacher all along. According to Edgar Cayce, the soul never truly loses connection to the divine. It only forgets to listen. Deep within each of us lies a quiet current, a golden thread that leads back to source. We glimpse it in sudden peace, in déjà vu, in that strange sense of I've been here before. Those flashes are not imagination. They are memory seeping through the cracks of forgetfulness. As the soul matures through lifetimes, it begins to sense that the material world cannot completely satisfy its longing. Success, pleasure, and even knowledge lose their shine compared to the subtle call of meaning. Cayce said that this restlessness is the beginning of awakening the soul stirring within the shell of personality, reminding us that we are not the roles we play. When we start to question who we really are, when suffering begins to point us inward, the long road home begins. Awakening, Cayce explained, is not about withdrawing from life, but transforming how we live it. Meditation, service, and forgiveness open the inner senses, allowing light to pass once more through the prism of the self. In quiet stillness, we re-enter the vibration of spirit. Thoughts slow, breath deepens, and the awareness that once created worlds stirs again. Be still, Cayce said, and know that I am God, not as a distant deity, but as the divine presence within your own being. Each moment of silence becomes a doorway through which eternity whispers. The awakened soul begins to see patterns, repeated lessons, familiar faces, echoes of old choices. We realize that nothing happens by chance. Every meeting, every challenge is choreography for our evolution. Cayce often compared life to a vast school in which no lesson is failed, only repeated until learned. When we meet hardship with love, the pattern dissolves. When we meet fear with understanding, karma transforms into wisdom. And as that wisdom grows, so does compassion, for we recognize the same divine spark in every other soul walking beside us. Through this recognition, the world changes texture. The ordinary becomes sacred. Work becomes service, conversation becomes prayer, and even pain becomes purification. The soul no longer seeks escape, but integration, bringing heaven into earth through the choices of daily life. This is what Cayce called spiritualizing the material. It is the alchemy of the heart, turning ordinary moments into expressions of divine will. Every thought of kindness, every quiet act of patience builds a bridge between worlds. Yet awakening is rarely smooth. The ego resists, clinging to its stories of separation. Old emotions surface, memories rise, and the shadows we avoided demand our attention. But Cayce assured that these shadows are not enemies. They are unhealed fragments of the soul asking for light. To face them is to reclaim lost power. Meet every experience with love, he said, for love is the law that heals all divisions. When we respond with love instead of reaction, the past releases its hold, and the soul regains its wings. Dreams become another doorway. Cayce emphasized that the soul speaks through symbols when the waking mind is quiet. Each dream, he said, is a message from the higher self guiding us toward balance. Paying attention to those nocturnal stories reconnects us with the realms we once knew. Meditation by day and dreaming by night together, they rebuild the bridge between dimensions. As consciousness expands, the line between spirit and matter thins. We start to sense guidance in intuition, synchronicity, and grace. The universe itself seems to respond, offering signs, aligning events, weaving support into the smallest details. The soul, once buried in density, begins to rise again toward light, not by leaving the body, but by illuminating it. The human form becomes the temple, and every heartbeat a hymn. Awakening, then, is remembrance in motion. It's the moment we look at the world and recognize the divine staring back through every face, every stone, every star. It's understanding that the Creator never cast us out. We simply wandered into experience to find our way home. And as we awaken, we don't merely return, we transform. We bring with us all that we've learned: empathy, strength, tenderness, wisdom. The soul that once descended into matter now carries the light of experience back to the heavens. So if you've ever felt that strange pull, the sense that there is more to life than meets the eye, listen to it. It's the call of your own eternal self, whispering through the noise of the world. You are not separate from the source. You are its expression. Learning to remember. Each breath, Each act of love is a step on the path back to the One, and the One has been within you all along. Imagine for a moment that everything you've ever been searching for, peace, love, meaning, belonging, has never truly been lost. Imagine that it's been here all along, quietly waiting beneath the noise of thought, beneath the rise and fall of your daily life. According to Edgar Cayce, the story of the soul is not a story of exile, but of return. It is the journey of divine consciousness rediscovering itself through the beauty and struggle of human experience. Cayce often said, "The soul is of God and seeks to know itself to be itself, yet one with the Creator." That is the entire purpose of life distilled into a single breath. Every lifetime, every lesson, is another verse in the grand poem of awakening. You are not being punished for forgetting, you are being guided toward remembering. Even your mistakes, even your heartbreaks, are instruments of grace, playing the melody of your return home. He taught that the moment we choose love over fear, we begin the ascent. The vibration of our thoughts shapes the reality around us. Every prayer, every act of compassion, sends ripples through the unseen. The more we attune to the divine within, the more the outer world mirrors harmony. Cayce described this as at-onement, a sacred merging, where the soul once more aligns with the creative forces that gave it life. Heaven, then, is not a distant realm, but a state of being found in stillness, kindness, and truth. The awakening soul begins to see earth itself as sacred ground. The sunlight, the wind, the laughter of children, the tears of the grieving, all become reflections of the same divine field. When we bless the world instead of judging it, we lift the veil between dimensions. In that moment of blessing, spirit flows freely through matter again, and creation remembers its purpose. Cayce urged seekers to make their lives a channel of blessings, a living conduit for divine love to move through the physical world. It is through service, he said, that the soul finds its peace. Not through withdrawal, but through giving, through seeing God in every face we meet. The smallest gesture can change the energy of a moment, a kind word, a patient silence, a hand held in understanding. Every act of love rethreads the connection between heaven and earth. And when we serve from the heart, we fulfill the reason we came, to make the invisible visible, to embody spirit in form. In his readings, Cayce revealed that no soul is ever lost. Even those who wander in darkness are still held within the infinite compassion of the Source. There is no eternal damnation, only degrees of awakening. Every soul, he said, will eventually find its way back to the light, for love is patient beyond measure, and time itself bends toward reunion. The universe is not against us, it is conspiring to bring us home. So what does this mean for you, right now, in this moment? It means you can stop searching outward for proof of the divine. You are the proof. You are the evidence of an eternal intelligence expressing through human form. Every breath you take is God experiencing creation. Every heartbeat is the rhythm of the cosmos pulsing within you. When you begin to live from that awareness, everything changes. Fear loosens its grip. Gratitude expands. Life stops being something to survive and becomes something sacred to share. And when the final chapter of this lifetime closes, Cayce taught that the soul simply steps into another room of light. There is no end, only continuation. We carry the love we've cultivated, the wisdom we've earned, and the connections we've made. The body falls away, but the soul remains radiant, eager to grow, to give, to love again. Birth and death are only doorways in the eternal house of God. So perhaps the true question isn't where did the soul come from, but when will we remember where we've always been? Because in truth, we never left. The same light that birthed the stars burns quietly within your chest. The same intelligence that shaped galaxies flows through your breath. You are a fragment of infinity, learning to see yourself again. As you finish this reflection, take a moment to close your eyes. Feel that quiet hum of life moving through you. That is the pulse of creation, the echo of your divine origin. Let it remind you that you are never alone, never separate, never forgotten. The journey of the soul is not about reaching somewhere new. It's about remembering what you've always been. Eternal, aware, one with all that is. And so, the story comes full circle. The soul that descended into matter rises again, not as something different, but as something realized. You are the light exploring itself through form. You are the universe awakening. And that awakening begins right now within you.